47 people have had a lucky escape after a plane crashed into the sea in Micronesia. The Air Niugini Boeing 737 was coming into land on the tiny island of Chuuk, where it appeared to miss the runway and come to rest in the lagoon about 150 metres from the runway. A flotilla of boats rescued all 36 passengers and 11 crew. Bill Janes was a passenger and in an interview on the Pacific Daily News website says he had to wade through waist-deep water.
We landed hard until I looked over and saw a hole in the side of the plane and water was coming in. And I thought, well, this is not the way it's supposed to happen. We came in low. We came in very low.
Giff Johnson is a journalist based in the Marshall Islands and he has the very latest.
The plane has actually is totally submerged in the lagoon. Apparently there were 36 passengers and 11 crew members, and they were able to get all of them off the plane safely after this landing, which apparently started, they did hit the runway, but my understanding is that the landing was very far down the runway, not at the beginning of the runway. And in many of the islands up here in the north, Chuuk, Koshrai, Pohnpei, and so on, the runways are relatively short. And short means when you get to the end of the runway, you step off into water. So apparently the plane shot off into the lagoon. And according to reports from Chuuk, it's actually about 150 meters away from the end of the runway in the lagoon. Now, as I say, it's sunk or it's submerged, and that's pretty much the state of play at the moment.
Right, Giff, and what we saw in that footage that was shared online is that lots of locals in their boats were out there picking the people up and shipping them back to land, to that atoll. So I guess they were pretty crucial in the whole rescue mission.
It looks like people responded instantly, and one of the things about the location of the airport in Chuuk, the international airport in Ueno, is it's actually right adjacent to the town, which is the capital of the Chuuk State in the Federated States of Micronesia. So, I mean, essentially you land and you're in the town. So people obviously saw it. Everybody ran for their boats, and within minutes there was a whole flotilla out. And the video and photos that I saw indicated that there were certainly enough boats to get the nearly 50 passengers and crew off. I guess the main issue was to get them out of the cabin before the plane sank, or because it did stay up on the water for a bit. I don't know how long it actually stayed up before it submerged, but according to officials in Chuuk, they were successful in getting them off the plane, and people were taken to the hospital nearby to be checked. But they're saying that they're reporting no serious injuries, which is quite amazing, given the situation.
Yeah, quite amazing, because in that footage you can see the boat's quite close to the plane, and by that stage a good part of the plane is submerged, so things must have been fairly touch and go there. You told us a bit earlier that your information was that the plane had landed a fair way down what is already a short runway. We know that Air Niugini executives have been in a crisis meeting this afternoon. Have you heard anything else back from them? Obviously an investigation is going to be underway, but is it too early to know what are the possible causes?
Yeah, the people that we've talked to in Chuuk said it was raining earlier today, so the conditions may not have been, perfect for a landing. And this is certainly not the first time that planes have run off runways in the Micronesia area. Several years back, an Asia Pacific Airlines flight, which handles cargo, ships tuna and mail in and out of the islands, they had a problem with a landing in Pohnpei and ran off the runway and ended up with the nose of the plane in the lagoon. And, there have been things like that. And part of the reason is just the runways are they are short. So there is very little margin for error on a pilot. If it is the pilot's fault, or anyway, whatever the conditions are, you need to land right at the beginning of the runway to have the safety, be able to make a safe landing.
Gift Johnson in Margero.